Smart lock installation tutorial. Front lock, rear lock, front lock pads, rear locking pads, lock the body, gasket, gasket screw, lock body screws, cylinder course screws, bamboo screws, screw tube, square rod, card, key. Adjust the direction of the lock body tongue. If the door is pushed inward, the angled surface of the latch faces outward and the flat latch faces inward. If the door is pulled outward, the tilted side of the latch faces inward and the flat latch faces outward. This step is the lock body latch inward push door to adjust the direction of the outer pull open. Then do not need to adjust, can ignore this step. Adjust the direction of the lock body latch. First, dial the clutch upwards. Press the locking tongue inwards. Rotate the locking tongue 180 degrees, and the locking tongue rebounds to change the direction that the adjustment is completed. Installation of the lock body with the latch placed face up. Place the lock body into the door frame body slot. Tighten the fixing screws of the lock body. Install the lock cylinder and place it into the lock body hoisting groove with the keyhole facing outside the door. And place the lock cylinder in the appropriate position. Pick up the fixing screw of the lock cylinder and thread it through the screw hole of the lock body. And tighten with a screwdriver to secure the lock cylinder. Check that the switch lock is working properly by unlocking it with a key. Install the square rod and insert one end of the joint into the square rod hole of the lock body. Measure the square rod reservation length from the face of the interior door 0.39 inch to 13.78 inch. Make your markings to cut off the excess. Prepare to operate the rear lock. Open the rear lock battery cover and remove the battery. Loosen the rear lock retaining screw. Remove the rear locking spacer. Install the rear locking rubber pad and press to complete the fixing. Put the bamboo screws through the rear locking spacer screw holes. Measure the length of the bamboo screws according to the thickness of the door. Fit to the door frame 1 centimeter shorter than the door frame. Make your markings to cut off the excess. Cut off the excess with pliers. Front lock preparation operation. Adjust the front handle orientation to suit your needs. Loosen the handle retaining screw and remove the screw. If the door opens to the right, the handle faces right. If the door opens to the left, the handle faces left. The direction of the door opening in the video is left, with the handle facing left. Adjustment is completed when the handle fixing screws are screwed on and the handle does not loosen. Installation of front locking rubber pads. Pass the front lock data cable through the adhesive pad and press to finish securing it. Install the front locking solenoid. Tighten the solenoid with pliers. To install the front lock, run the data cable through the door first. Align the front lock cylinder hole with the lock cylinder and install it. Install the rear lock spacer and route the front lock power cable through the rear lock spacer. Screw the bamboo screws in. The rear locking spacer screw holes. Don't tighten it yet, there is a certain degree of looseness. It is convenient for subsequent adjustment. Adjust the front lock. Note, the keyhole should be right in the center of the hole. Align the rear locking spacer. Note, the square rod and lock cylinder need to be centered squarely in the shim holes. Tighten the bamboo screws again. Connect the power cables for the front and rear locks. Tuck the excess power cord into the door to prevent crushing. The rear lock square rod aligns with the lock body square rod to install it. Secure the rear lock by screwing the rear lock retaining screws in the rear lock screw holes. Install the battery. Put on the battery cover. Press and hold the rear lock on off lock button until the tone appears. Initialization can be resumed by pressing the well key at the front lock. Installation complete. 3D face recognition to unlock the door. Fingerprint unlocking. Password unlocking. Card unlocking. Key unlocking. Indoor one-key lock. Indoor one-click unlocking. Indoor. Quick open handle switch lock.